Hey, welcome to Soul Whispers Tarot. I'm here again with another pick a card reading, and this reading is what he wants you to know. What does he wish that you knew? What would he tell you if he could? So we have 4 sets of cards today. Set of cards number 1 is the cerise pink cluster crystal. Set of cards number 2 is the purple unicorn point. Set of cards number 3 is the amber. And set of cards number 4 is the aura quartz point. So this is going to be a reading where I use the tarot, the messages from the divine masculine cards, and also the charms. So these readings are timeless and they're general messages, so take whatever resonates and leave the rest. Don't try and make these messages fit your individual situation if they aren't resonating. Always trust your own intuition overall. So I'll give you a few moments to tune into the energies of the cards, and it's perfectly fine to feel drawn to more than one set of cards. Okay, so let's get into the reading. So this is set of cards number 1, which is the cerise pink cluster crystal. And you have the Rider-Waite Tarot, a couple of handwritten messages, and also the messages from the Divine Masculine cards. So what does this person want you to know right now? So you have the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, Strength, the 6 of Wands in reverse, the Tower, the Ace of Wands, the Page of Wands in reverse, the 4 of Pentacles, the High Priestess in reverse. This one here, which says, I was so scared you would reject the real me and leave me, so I put on a mask and felt I could never take it off again. And then we have, you've given too much. I could never repay you. I'd always feel like I owe you more. I'd never feel good enough. And we have, I want to share my feelings with you. I feel insecure. I'm sick of the old paradigms. This is the real me. And does she still love me? So what I'm feeling overall is this person wishes you knew just how sorry they are, because they ran away from your connection with this 7 of Swords, or they weren't totally upfront. They had difficulties expressing their feelings and being the real you with them because they felt very insecure. I feel like this person has some low self-esteem. They were carrying around a lot of heavy burdens in their life. I do feel like they were wearing a mask because they were very afraid that you would reject the real them. Like they don't see themselves as good enough. They may have felt as though they didn't have enough to give you compared to what you were offering them. For some of you, it may be that you've incarnated on this earth more than what they have. Not necessarily, but for some of you, you've learned a lot more in your life than what this person has, or you just experienced, or you're further along on your awakening, your ascension, or something like that. And so they just didn't feel like they were your match in that sense. They may have felt as though they were immature or just didn't know as much. And I feel as though they were worried about what you would think of them if they were their real true self. Some of them may have felt as though you had really high expectations of them, which they couldn't live up to, but they may have put on a mask trying to live up to those expectations or trying to be what they thought you wanted them to be, but it was becoming a really like heavy burden on them because they started wearing that mask, and then they want you to know that they just felt as though they dug themselves into a hole and they couldn't reveal their true self to you anymore. I feel as though this person was really afraid of disappointing you, and so they tried to it's almost like they were doing things in their life which they weren't telling you or they weren't showing you. They definitely weren't expressing their truth in some way. They weren't expressing their emotions, but they were really worried about losing you. They were really worried about disappointing you, and so they just weren't showing you certain truths about their life. It's almost like they were trying to get away with something or trying to hide something from you. But this was other karma that they needed to learn. You know, they want you to know that when they were holding on to your connection, although they really wanted to be with you, they felt as though their life was beginning to stagnate, because it was like you both wanted to be together, but it just wasn't aligning, or it wasn't the right time. And so their soul was kind of calling them in a different direction, even though they wanted to hold on to you, because they're holding on really tightly, and with the Four of Pentacles as well. I feel like they still are holding on to your connection, but at the same time, there's lessons that they needed to learn in a different direction, but they were just really afraid that it would really break your heart if they made it obvious to you that they were going in a different direction. So they may have tried to hide that from you. But ultimately, I do feel it led to heartbreak and a tower moment, because the truth was revealed. They either eventually admitted the truth to you, or you found out something. What they want you to know that they have experienced a lot of heartbreak, because they did want to be strong. They did want this relationship with you, but yeah, basically they just felt their true self wasn't good enough. And so in order to keep you in their life, because they really, really were afraid of losing you, and they put on those masks and just weren't totally upfront with you. For some, there may have been a third party situation in terms of another person involved, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that. It could mean the third party situation could mean that they just chose a different direction. They want you to know that it's not personal that they walked away, or that they didn't step up and be with you. They want you to know that it's not personal, because this is kind of their energy throughout their whole life, in terms of not feeling brave enough, not feeling good enough, or it's almost as though they've never felt supported in being their true self, like they've never really been praised when they were growing up or something like that, when it came to being their true self. And so this deceptive energy is basically the mask. It's basically running away from any kind of confrontation as well. This person is afraid of confrontation. They were afraid of you calling them out, because they've just been so used to hiding who they really are to pretty much everyone in their life, maybe even themselves, maybe running away from their true self, because they have a poor self-image. And so they may have been running away in order to try and keep some kind of ego illusion, which seemed like a comfort zone to them. They're running away in order to keep that comfort zone intact. Like if they got too close to you, they would have to be honest with themselves. They'd have to face their fears. They'd have to face all their wounding and really question their self-image. And it's like on a subconscious level that the ego was trying to protect itself. It was trying to, keep those walls and masks up and have a false sense of security. And this person really wants you to know that there was a lot of subconscious hurt and pain, and this was really blocking them without them even fully realizing it. Because the swords are about mind and perception. And so it was their own thoughts, it was their own stories that they'd attached to experiences of rejection that is breaking their own heart. The third party situation was, for some, was literally their own overthinking, their thought patterns, the negative stories, the self-blame, the poor self-image. That was what was keeping their heart in a place of pain. It was preventing them from being able to open their heart and give and receive love and take a leap of faith. They're really wanting you to know that they saw you as someone really strong, and they really wanted to live up to that, but they felt all over the place. They felt very weighed down. This person couldn't see where they were going. They couldn't see clearly because of these emotional burdens that they were carrying around from before they even met you. And it was to do with some kind of conflict in their life, because this person's running away on the eve of a battle. So perhaps for some, they grew up in a family where emotions just weren't talked about. There may have been a lot of passive aggression rather than actually talking problems through, or actually communicating true feelings. So this person never learned the skills about confrontation or communicating effectively. I feel as though they grew up in a family where everyone just ran away from expressing emotions, very kind of repressed in that way. And your connection was really calling them to express themselves. So yeah, I do feel as though when I see the image of this Strength card, I do feel as though some of them had some childhood wounding where their mother or their father or someone in their family tried to kind of close their mouth, tried to keep them quiet, tried to stop their expression. This really pacified this person, and they want you to know that that's why they didn't take action, because they felt as though they wouldn't be victorious in love. And this is like victory after a battle. They feel as though they couldn't find that inner strength, even though they really tried to. They couldn't find the strength to face the battle or fight the battle. For some of them, the third party situation may have been people, like other people, interfering with your connection. This can also mean that this person was overly worrying about their image in terms of their social circle, or they were worried about how they were appearing and being perceived by you. And so, you know, they wanted to be looked up to. They wanted you to put them on a pedestal in a way, because that was making them feel good in a way. But that was subconsciously their way of seeking love and approval outside of themselves, because they didn't have self-esteem. So they were relying upon you for that in many ways. And it may have been building the ego up, and they may have been feeling as though their confidence was growing, but it wasn't really, because they were too dependent upon your opinion of them. And that's why they were so afraid of your opinion, and therefore they were afraid of a tower moment. They were afraid of getting too close to you, you seeing the real them, and everything falling apart. But ironically, they're realizing now, and they want you to know that they realize that them running away and not being their true self, not taking the leap of faith, also is what really led to this tower moment. And they want you to know that they feel foolish for worrying more about trying to impress you or impress others rather than being their true self. Like they're seeing that clearly. Maybe some of you tried to tell this person that, but they just couldn't see it. It's like they had to learn this difficult lesson for themselves. They want you to know that they want a new beginning with you. They feel very passionate about you. They feel very passionate about this connection because it's brought very deep meaning into their life. They want you to know that they felt as though they had to move in a new direction after this Tower moment, but even though they don't want to go in a new direction, but it's something that has been needed. The need to release this codependency upon you and really go off on their own path and heal all these insecurities, learn to strengthen themselves, because I feel like they were too reliant upon you. But they're holding on to your connection. They may be worried that you're dating someone else or something like that, because this is about being possessive. But it can also mean that they're still feeling insecure and they're trying to hold on to some kind of comfort zone, which may be holding them back. They want you to know that they wish they hadn't ignored their intuition, because they know that they were getting a lot of signs, synchronicities, messages from spirit. They had a lot of intuition, but they were in resistance. They were afraid to follow that because it would, this path was calling them to be their true self. And because they were resisting it, the universe intervened and broke down all of these illusions within them, and it made you see things more clearly as well. And so, they can't hold on to that comfort zone. It's falling away in a painful kind of way because they were in resistance. They want you to know that they want to share their feelings with you now, but they do feel insecure still. But they're really sick of the old paradigms, and that's like the old beliefs, set of beliefs that they have. They're sick of these negative thoughts that keep them stuck. They're sick of their own negative stories that they've attached that are very self-blaming. They're tired of things going in circles. They're tired of feeling limited. They want to come forward and express the real them. But they're worried. They're worried right now with this, does she still love me? They're worried that you're not going to accept them anymore. They're worried because what I'm feeling is they're still kind of stuck in these blocks. And they're worried, and some of them may not be coming forward right now because they know that when they come forward, they have to be in the right place to be able to speak their truth to you. It can't be the same old paradigm over and over again, because they know that you're not going to accept them in that old paradigm. They know they've got to step up. They know they've got to speak their truth. So let's look into the charms. What does this person really want you to know right now? I love you to the moon and back. So they love you very, very deeply. What was I going to say? This is about the moon energy. The moon features a lot in that High Priestess card. That was in reverse. So the moon is about fears. They weren't facing their fears. Within this connection, it's brought up this path. It's calling them to be their true self, and you. It's calling them to go down that path of the unknown, step out of their comfort zone. Face their fears. It's a deep connection about spiritual growth and ascension. So when I see this, I love you to the moon and back, what I'm seeing is you met this person. It's brought you both to this fear energy. and it's also the subconscious, the blocks, the wounds. It's really highlighted that within yourselves as individuals. And so there's this journey to the subconscious, and it's in order to free yourself from those limitations, so you're free with an open heart to give and receive love, and have that inner peace basically. And then I love you to the moon and back. It's like after that healing stage, then you're going to come back together. There's going to be some kind of union, is what I'm feeling. And I'm being really drawn to this camera. So this may be very significant to some of you. There may be an interest in photography, or they may be looking at your photos online. They're reminiscing about the past by looking at old photos. You may be looking at photos of them. They want you to know that they're still keeping an eye on you on social media. They want you, I feel like they've communicated to you through photographs, and they've wanted you to know certain things, and that has been their way of communicating things to you. The fishbowl, to me this is saying this person is bored in that comfort zone, even though it feels safe going round in circles in that little fishbowl. They are feeling like they're stuck in that, and they're looking outside of the glass. They're looking outside of the bowl, wishing they could broaden their horizons, wishing they could, face their fears and be with you. They're wishing for a new life, but with you is what I'm feeling, because there is this engagement ring. So they're seeing you as someone very significant. They see you as the one for them. They see you as their soulmate. They want a deeper level of commitment in this relationship. They feel that your connection is eternal. They want you to know that they see you as, the most special person in their life. I feel like this person may have issues with finances at this time, or they're working on building up their finances. This may have been something really significant in their life. And they want you to know, some of them, that they didn't feel good enough, partly because of finances as well. Here's the umbrella. It reminds me of the Three of Swords card because of the rain. I feel as though the umbrella is here because they do feel a lot of pain, a lot of sadness. They may have been crying. There's been mourning, because with this bow, they see your connection as an eternal bond, and they feel a lot of regret about some of their decisions or some of their actions, and feeling as though they took it for granted, and they feel like they can't take that back, and it's an eternal bond. So they've, you've both got to just live with that, and they're regretting that. They want you to know that they see you as a gift in their life. Again, there's this bow. They're very grateful for this eternal bond. That makes them feel very excited in a way, because they feel this sense of home, and they know that no matter what happens within your connection in the 3D, you'll always have this bond. You'll always be one. You'll always be connected in other dimensions and in between lifetimes on earth, and you'll meet again in other lifetimes and all things like that. They feel like your soul family, and they're so grateful for that. So here's this wheel, the fan. They know that they pushed you away. They want you to know that this wasn't just a case of them not stepping up and saying, let's get together. They want you to know that there's deep karmic lessons here. This is the wheel of karma. And things have happened for a reason. Things have happened to help you both learn really powerful lessons. Even if they have been painful, you've both learned so much. Here's the violin or the cello. To me, this is about romance. You know, classical music can be extremely powerful. They feel these powerful emotions. They feel nostalgic. They're reminiscing. They're feeling very moved by this love that they feel for you. And it's created a major heart awakening. But in order for the heart to fully awaken, it does mean all the pain that's blocking the heart from awakening and opening has to come up to the surface. So this connection has really opened a can of worms where all the painful emotions that this person's been carrying around is coming up. So, but it is so that eventually, you know, those wounds can be released, and so the heart can open more, and this person can see themselves more in their true light and have more of that self-love. So then they'll be more in alignment with the love vibration, and therefore more able to align with love and a healthy, harmonious relationship. So I really hope this reading has resonated with you and that it's been helpful. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. It really helps me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading. And please check out my other readings. I have tons on here about how this person's feeling and what's going on in your connection, and those can really help you gain deeper insights. So thank you so much. So this is set of cards number 2, which is the purple unicorn point. And you have the Morgan Greer Tarot, a couple of handwritten messages, and messages from the Divine Masculine cards. And we'll also be looking at the charms as well. So what does this person want you to know? You have the Hermit, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Tower, the Five of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Star, the Lovers. We are mirrors. We both try to chase emotionally unavailable people to heal our abandonment wounds. I based my self-worth on how you saw me. I started to feel the real me wasn't good enough, so I wore a mask. What will they think? You make me feel naked. I'm scared of losing you. I'm stuck. And this karmic situation is busting my ass. So what I'm noticing is all these are really like dark colors for the messages for the Divine Masculine cards. Whereas as you can see, there's all sorts of bright colors. So this is really showing me that this person is in a dark place. They're going through really difficult times, and the tarot cards are showing that as well. So what I'm sensing is this person wants you to know that they are struggling with a lot of drama in their life. There could be literally drama with other people. There could be people using, abusing, manipulating them. They could be dealing with narcissistic people. There could be people interfering with your connection. Definitely these people are eating away at this person's self-esteem. This person has to learn major karmic lessons, I feel, to do with having self-love, knowing their worth, having healthy boundaries, sticking up for themselves, speaking their truth, speaking up, things like that. They're feeling very stuck in their current circumstances. And the Hermit is really saying that they feel very isolated in their life. They feel very lonely because what I'm sensing is that the people that they're surrounded by, they just don't feel a deep connection with. They don't feel a resonance with those people in terms of feeling truly understood. This person's in a lot of fear and a lot of emotional wounds that they've been carrying around for a long time. It's a heavy burden. They're stuck in situations, but they're really wanting, it's like a part of them really wants to escape those difficult situations. They're wanting those difficult situations. It could be a relationship to break down. They're wanting their freedom. They want to move in a new direction, but there's all this conflict going on. All this fighting is what I'm feeling. And, this person doesn't know how to liberate themselves. And basically they want you to know that it's not personal, that they're not there for you right now. They're just going through a load of difficulties. And I feel like they've never really learned how to have those healthy boundaries and say no to people. This may be someone who is a people pleaser, and then people are taking them for granted. People are using and abusing their generosity. And they may not know how to liberate themselves from that. Perhaps they feel some kind of magnetic pull to this person because they have a lot of karma to deal with. So they're feeling like they can't escape because of that energetic pull to this other person in a way as well. So, but they want you to know it's not personal. They want you to know that they feel this deep love when it comes to you. They feel like you're very innocent and pure is what I'm hearing from Spirit. And they don't want you to get all caught up in this drama. There may be someone in their life that's very jealous of your connection and will make life a living hell for you and this person. If this person, comes towards you, your person, if they come towards you. And so this third party person is trying to interfere. He's really trying to prevent this person from being with you. He's trying to prevent this person from moving on. This person has a lot of codependency upon your person. I feel that your person just didn't have such a great upbringing. I do feel as though they got involved with this karmic person because subconsciously the karmic reminded them of their parents in some kind of way, and it was subconsciously the inner child's way of trying to resolve that childhood wound by attracting a similar romantic partner. Someone using and abusing them, or someone emotionally unavailable, or someone unhealthy. And this person, your person, trying to subconsciously heal those wounds through that difficult karmic situation. So, yeah, the Hermit, they're wanting to walk away from this drama. They are going inwards a lot. They're feeling very isolated, and I feel like that's what has to happen. That's partly why this person's going through these difficulties, because I'm sure you've experienced this as well, where you've been in some kind of relationship where it's not happy, but you feel afraid of leaving. You feel confused about why you might not be happy. It basically forces you to go inwards on a much deeper level. It makes you become much more aware of yourself, your feelings, and then you start questioning, what should I do? And then this head versus heart thing comes up. But ultimately, that's a way in the long run of developing the intuition by testing out, like following logical thought and then following gut feelings, I feel like this person may have gone through some things where they followed logic, they followed what their mind was telling them, but then this gut instinct, this intuition kept coming up. It's like a sinking feeling saying, you're not being true to yourself, you need to liberate yourself, and then that brings up tons of fears. So this person wants you to know, I feel it's like this person's higher self wants you to know that they're really struggling with that head versus heart thing, about making some kind of decision. And that's why they weren't available to you. I feel there may have been times where they were very enthusiastic about you and your connection, and they were communicating to you, they were coming forward to you. But then it's like these fears of actually having to make a proper decision and liberate themselves, and knowing that they're going to have to fight for their freedom when it comes to someone else. All that fear came up, and so I feel like when that fear comes up, that's when they push you away, or that's when they have doubts, that's when they go quiet. So this person's isolating themselves right now. They're very much in this place of trying to see the light, trying to find the path forward, trying to work out what they really should do, what they're being guided to do. So the Knight of Pentacles, it's like there's very slow movement with this person. They want to do the right thing. They're not someone that makes quick decisions. It may not be someone who who takes action quickly. This is someone that's overthinking things. They're moving very slowly. They're trying to hold on to some kind of stability within themselves, but they may be looking for that stability in the wrong types of way, like in a codependent way, looking outside of themselves, wanting to stay in that relationship on one hand, for that sense of false stability. They don't want the confrontation because they're going to feel all over the place and they're going to feel insecure, and they don't want the upheaval because that really scares them. But at the same time, in their heart, they're feeling really, really, really burnt out, and they're really wanting a new beginning in love with you. They're really wanting to be with you and have this healing of this situation. Some of them may be in denial though. They may be saying, oh, I'll deal with it later, because whenever they think about really taking action and making change in their life, they're really, really scared about that. They're really scared about the change. They're scared about people's reactions, because there's what will they think. For some, they could be married. They're worried about what the family, what the friends, what everyone's going to think if they leave the relationship, if they get a divorce or something like that. I'm scared of losing you. So I feel like they're scared of losing their current partner or their current life situation, but they're also scared of losing you. So this is why they're all over the place. They feel like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They don't know what to do. This karmic situation is busting my ass. That's really saying to me that it's really wearing them out. It's a heavy burden on them. But yeah, there's two cards of conflict here. They just really want you to know it's not personal. Some of them, they want you to know that they had to sort of put your relationship on the back burner, or they had to push you away. They had to be cruel to be kind, because they knew that you would just get hurt if if they came forward to you and made these promises, which they couldn't at this time live up to, because they're needing to release certain things in their life. They're needing to deal with their shit, basically. So this Page of Swords, in the traditional tarot, it shows the page walking forward with the sword and one foot facing forward, but then he's looking back over his shoulder and his other foot is facing backwards. So to me, this is like a confused kind of energy. This person's wanting to move forward, and they are slowly moving forward in the right direction, but then they're still looking back over their shoulder. I feel like this person feels threatened, like someone's going to threaten them if they leave that person. So they're looking back over their shoulder because they're really worried about that. They're really worried about someone destroying their life, is what I'm feeling, or someone else destroying the connection they have with you. So they're feeling stuck. They don't know what to do. Someone's threatening them, is what I'm feeling. And so, they're stuck in their current circumstances, but they're trying to find freedom by emotionally like shutting down and going inwards and isolating themselves in that kind of way. They're very much in their man cave or their woman cave. They're trying to problem solve, and as long as they still haven't found a solution, they're still going to be in that cave. They're still going to be alone trying to figure things out for themselves, and they need to do that. Like I said, that's what's making them go inwards. That's what's making them get more in touch with their true self and their intuition. You make me feel naked. Interesting, because there's the Star and the Lovers where they're naked. This is what they want, though. They want to be their naked true self with you. They want this healing of your relationship. They want to follow. Look, this is about following the Star, following the guidance. And they are doing that with the Hermit. They're slowly getting there. It's a slow journey of awakening and liberation, because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight. But all these burdens, all these difficulties they're carrying around is a 10 as well. So that means they're about to let go of those burdens. The 10s are about the endings of an old cycle in order for there to be a new beginning. And after they've released everything, because there will be a Tower moment in their life. I feel that is them releasing this other relationship or this other situation. There will be conflicts. They will be moving forward, but then, that they feel like they have to keep an eye out. They have to keep looking over their shoulder kind of thing. But after all that, after they've finally liberated themselves, that's when they can come forward and communicate their truth to you. They really want you to know that's what they're planning to do. They want you to be patient, and their goal is to liberate themselves so they can offer you their heart, offer you this new beginning in love, have this healing, have this balance of give and take, and have this relationship with you. I based my self-worth on how you saw me. I started to feel the real me wasn't good enough, so I wore a mask. So yeah, I feel like this person really desires to be with you. They felt kind of safe in their current circumstance in a way, because they know what to expect in that situation, and they know that this other person is really wanting to be with them and is to the point of being abusive about it. But yeah, on a deeper level, they're just really not happy in that situation. They don't really want that. It's just the fear wants that. But their true heart and soul wants to be with you. So let's look at the charms. What does this person want you to know? Slightly bitter. So yeah, someone's bitter. I feel this is their current partner, or someone in their life is bitter about your connection. They're very sour. Ticket to happiness. They see you as the ticket to happiness. A ticket is about a journey. It's almost like they want to get away from their current situation. They may feel as though when they're with you, you've got to sort of get away from this other person. They may be just struggling right now in terms of knowing what to do, because they feel as though this karmic person is just going to try and destroy everything. Interestingly, ticket to happiness, and there is the plane. So for some of you, there's a physical distance. You may live in different countries or different states or different cities, and that may be a factor in why you're not together right now. And it's like a massive change for them if they're to move away to be with you. So I feel that's really significant. They may you know, you may have to move, or they may have to move in order to be together, or they may have these goals or fantasies about you two like running away together and moving to somewhere completely different, completely away from this karmic person. What's this one? I believe. So yeah, they're trusting much more in their intuition now. Whereas before there was this head versus heart thing. They may have thought your connection was more of a fantasy and that it wasn't realistic, it wasn't going to ground, because it seemed illogical to them initially because it was so intense so quickly. But now they're believing, now they've gone through that head versus heart battle within themselves, and they've come to this realization. They're embracing the heart. To me, the heart is the gateway to our intuition. So, you know, that's overflowing with intuition now. The hospital, they're wanting healing of your connection. They may be, you know, needing to heal themselves from all this drama that they're going through. This is almost like the Four of Swords card. Needing to rest, recuperate, gather their strength. Yeah. This one here, the rose on the cross, always reminds me of the Rumi Oracle card, which is called the Celestial Rose of Ma. And basically it's about, in order to get to the rose, in order to get to the heart awakening, the love, the relationship with you, the union, they've got to go through the thorns, they've got to go through the difficulties, they've got to face their fears, you know. This is, you know, your connection in a way, without sounding crude, is like the universe dangling a carrot in front of their face, and it's, you know, inspiring them to actually do the work in order to be able to align with you. So there's two of the 4-leaf clover here. So luck is on your side. On this person's side, it's about the Wheel of Fortune. It's time for them to get off this karmic wheel that they've been going in circles on. And this is a brand new major beginning for them, releasing this situation that's been holding them back, embracing their true heart's desire, which is embracing you. And the Star, they feel as though you're very supportive. They want you to know that they're very grateful for how you've been really supportive to them, and that's helped them with their healing. It's helping them with their growth. And this here reminds me of the Judgment card, where it's all about this person's making a final judgment on this relationship they're in, and they're making a final decision, and they're basically choosing to rise up. It's like a phoenix. They're going through the fire right now, but it's so they can spread their wings and have this new beginning, the rebirth. This is all about them aligning with their spiritual path. They're no longer resisting the spiritual path as much as they were, rising up and rising out, raising their vibration into self-love, which is helping them have healthy self-esteem and create healthy boundaries. And this is the soul calling, basically. It's calling them forward. There's a microphone here. This person is going to regain their power to speak their truth. They're going to tell this other person where to go. And I feel like they're going to reach out and communicate to you as well. Here's another one about the wheel, the karmic cycle. They're pushing this other person away now, because that's what this 5 of Swords mean. They're going to be victorious in liberating themselves by pushing the other person away. There may be some money issues. That's maybe why partly they're feeling stuck in that other relationship or situation, because of money factors. Whenever I see the umbrella, to me, this is like the 3 of Swords. It's like the rain, the tears. They've been crying over this. They're feeling a lot of heartbreak. But there's the bow on this, which is saying that they realize that you have an eternal bond. And that's partly, you know, why they're sad and upset, because they really want to be with you. And they see you as a gift in their life. Again, this gift has the bow on it as well. They're really seeing it as a gift. Whereas before they didn't fully believe in the connection, they had doubts. Now they totally believe, and they're really, really grateful. So, the toadstool. I'm not sure what this means, to be honest. I always struggle with this one. Could represent growth. Growing in a new direction. I'm not sure. That may be significant to some of you in a specific way. Here's the swan. This is about commitment. This is about true love. This is what they want with you. Swans mate for life. That may be one of the issues that's made this person feel stuck in their current circumstance. There may be an expectation for them to stay with this person, especially if they're married. They, you know, may not believe in divorce, or because there was that, what will they think? You know, the family may not believe in divorce or something like that. The owl, they're gaining a lot of wisdom from this connection with you and this experience. They want you to know that they see you as very wise, and they're ascending basically with a hot air balloon. They're rising up out of current circumstances, freeing themselves. So yeah, this person is going to free themselves. They're going to reach out and communicate. They want you to know that they just want you to be patient right now, and they want you to know they do feel this deep, true love for you. And they're just struggling, but they're getting there. So I really hope this reading has resonated with you and that it's been helpful. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. It really helps me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading. Please check out my other videos. I have tons of pick a card readings on here about how this person's feeling and what's going on in your connection and all things like that. So I really feel like those can really help you gain deeper insights. And thank you so much. So this is set of cards number 3, which is the amber. And you have the gilded tarot. We also have a couple of handwritten messages, and also some messages from the Divine Masculine cards. We'll also be looking into the charms as well. So what does this person want you to know? There's the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Cups, oops, the Chariot, the 8 of Cups, the Tower in reverse, the 10 of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles. I want us to be together, but we can't be as long as you insist it was all just my fault. You are living in a bubble of protection. I'm sorry I hurt you when I burst that bubble, but it had to be done. And then we have, things will change very soon. I need to protect myself. I'm taking a chance. You deserve the best. And finally, you're the one. So what does this person want you to know? They want you to know that they have regrets about this tower moment that happened between you. Maybe this person walked away from you. Maybe you had to walk away from them. Maybe they chose a different direction, or they just didn't step up. They didn't take action on your connection in some kind of way. And so it led to a tower moment. It led to a separation. I feel like this person is in a place of regret. They're wanting to rush back into your life. We have 3 cards here in a row which are about rapid movement. The 8 of Wands. They're wanting to manifest a balanced union, a balanced relationship, because 8 is that infinity symbol where you're mirrors of each other. It's an eternal bond. They're really wanting that to manifest. They're really wanting your relationship to get off the ground. The Knight of Cups. This person wants to race in. They want to be romantic. They want to be confident when it comes to expressing their emotions. They want to be your hero. They want to be, your rescuer. I'm thinking of the Princess in the Tower and the Knight. I know that sounds extremely corny, but basically what I'm feeling is this person did want to be there for you. They do want to be there for you. I want us to be together, but we can't be as long as you insist it was all just my fault. You were living in a bubble of protection. I'm sorry I hurt you when I burst that bubble, but it had to be done. So what I'm picking up from this is that there was some kind of unhealthy dynamic going on within this connection. Perhaps there was codependency. Perhaps you were both looking to each other too much for love outside of self, for approval. Maybe you both had childhood wounds or inner child wounds, and you were subconsciously holding on to each other too tightly with that 4 of Pentacles, hoping that the other person would heal those wounds within. And so, any sense of abandonment or rejection felt like a life or death kind of situation. And so I feel as though this person sees you as needing to heal, or in the past you needed to heal some childhood wounds. I feel as though this person sees you as blaming them, and as if they feel that you believe that it was just a case of them stepping up, just a case of them taking action, making the choice to be with you, and then boom, it's done, once they take action. But they really want you to know that it wasn't as simple as that. They want you to know that this was about an energetic alignment. If we're not in the love vibration, if we're not in a place of self-love, then we cannot align with truly giving and receiving love. There was some kind of energetic misalignment, holding on to each other too tightly. And so a tower moment had to happen. This to me is saying it's part of the contract. This person had to burst your bubble, and this unhealthy dynamic had to break down in order for you both to look inwards, go your separate ways temporarily, look inwards, to know your worth, to know you deserve the best, to know that you're lovable and good enough. Because I feel like there was a dynamic where some of you were giving and giving and giving because you are wanting this person to give back in return, in order to, the inner child to feel validated and loved and approved of. Perhaps, for some of you, that was a reflection of not feeling loved in those ways in your childhood. So basically the universe had to step in and break down this codependency by creating a painful tower moment so that you became much more self-reliant. And this person really wants you to know that, because they feel as though you're blaming it on them. But this is their way of saying to you to do the inner healing, to look in the mirror. And they're not trying to say it was all your fault either, but they're saying it takes two to create this energetic misalignment. And so when it says you were living in a bubble of protection, I'm sorry I hurt you when I burst that bubble, but it had to be done. That was part of the soul contract. They had to hurt you. You had to go through some kind of cycle of giving away your personal power to this person by making them responsible for how you feel about yourself. And you had to release that pattern, that tendency to do that, and know your own self-worth from within. So yeah, they want you to know that they want to rush in, and they always did. But, you know, the Chariot is about movement. This Chariot doesn't move forward if there's not this balance here. This normally shows the black and the white. Here it's like the black and the gold. It's like the yin and the yang. It takes, you know, both of you have to be balanced within yourselves in order for you to, the Chariot to move forward, and your relationship to move forward smoothly and harmoniously. If one or both are out of balance, then that Chariot, if it starts to move, it will just tip over. It will be like that Tower moment. So there may have been this energy where you're both trying to rush things, even if it appeared like this person wasn't trying to rush things at all. It's like, or maybe it was just one person who was trying to rush things in this connection, and so because there was this lack of balance, the Chariot just tipped over, like the Tower moment happened. But it was so that there was this Eight of Cups. This is temporarily walking away to go towards the moon. The moon energy is looking into your subconscious, healing the subconscious wounds that are blocking you and keeping you out of alignment of the love vibration. So this person wants you to know that they do want this rapid movement forward. They're afraid of losing you. They're hoping that this Tower moment doesn't mean everything's fallen apart. They want you to know that they are going inwards. They've seen the light. They've seen the truth. They've had epiphanies. They want to work on the relationship. They want to do the healing work that's necessary, because they may have been running away from doing the healing work in the past as well. And perhaps you were on a subconscious level without realizing it in certain ways. And they want you to know that they want this 10 of Pentacles with you. This is the happy relationship. They want to be a good provider. They want things to be balanced and stable in terms of a real, tangible relationship. I get a feeling with the Six of Pentacles, because this is about a balance of give and take. I get a feeling that in the past they felt that they couldn't give as much as you were giving, and then that made them feel like they weren't a good provider. And it's very important for this person to feel like a good provider. Maybe they felt as though you had some unrealistic expectations that they couldn't live up to, and so they were afraid to get too close in case they disappointed you and you rejected them. It felt much safer for this person to not risk rejection and kind of keep you at distance. So there's the Ace of Swords. This person wants you to know that they do realize that they have to be open, honest, sincere. They have to express their truth to you. They have to be direct. I'm seeing the blue ribbon here. That's reminding me of the throat chakra. You know they have to speak their truth to you. They're holding on to your connection. They're afraid of losing you. They don't want things to fall apart. King of Cups. They want you to know that they've always loved you. They have deep feelings for you. They always have, but they've just had a lot of issues. They've had a lot of wounds, and they didn't know how to deal with those. They didn't know what they were being called or asked to do by the divine. And they want you to know that they want to be as generous with you as you were with them. They want to give back to you now. And we have things will change very soon. And it's next to I need to protect myself, and then I'm taking a chance. So I feel like this is what's going to change very soon. In the past they've had this need to protect themselves, but ultimately that's made them very limited. It's made them have a lot of self-doubt. It's held them back, but that's going to change very soon into I'm taking a chance. They're going to take a leap of faith in your connection. They know that you deserve the best. They know that you're the one for them, and that's why they want to give you the best. In the past, I feel as though they always wanted to give you the best, but they didn't feel that they were in the best place emotionally, or maybe even financially, or with whatever was going on in their life to be able to give you the best at that time. So let's look into the charms. So we have bullshit remover. So yeah, this person wants you to know that they're removing any bullshit. They're removing any anything to do with taking you for granted or not being open and upfront with you. To me, this is like their masks and their walls. They're going to be letting those down as well. They know that, you know, you're not going to put up with anything. Maybe you walked away from them. You're not going to put up with any bullshit any longer. They want to be loyal to you with this dog. They see you as their best friend because you're always loyal to them. You're always there for them, and they want to be that for you as well. They want you to know that they're really grateful for that. Storms don't last forever. So yeah, they know there's been this tower moment, but after the storm, the sun comes out again, the clouds dissipate. So they're really wanting healing of your connection. They're wanting to make amends. They're wanting to rebuild your connection, but on a foundation of truth. There is this healing of the chakras here. Ascension is happening. A lot of lessons I've learned because of this tower moment. It had to happen so you basically both take a step back and see things more clearly from hindsight, or see the bigger picture by stepping back, so that you could see what wasn't working and what was blocking you both, because you both couldn't see that clearly in the past when you were holding on too tightly to each other. We have the microphone here, which is speaking their truth again. They really want to communicate to you. There's a 4-leaf clover, so your connection is moving into a positive new cycle. You had to step out off of the karmic wheel because there was some kind of karmic pattern on repeat within your connection, and the time and space away from each other is what's made you both aware of that cycle, and in order to stop that negative cycle. So your connection is being watched over by spirit, by your angels, and they're really helping you both on this path of ascension, basically. This is a positive sign. So things are improving. This is confirmation from spirit. There's a lot of love here. Love is returning to the connection. The umbrella has been closed. So to me, the umbrella, you know, if it was open, it would represent heartbreak, because like this, the rain is like the tears. It reminds me of the 3 of Swords card. But now that the umbrella is closed, it's like you're both healing from the pain. You're coming out of that storm into the sunrise, the new beginning, the new dawn. And yeah, again, spirit, your angels, this is Cupid watching over your connection, really guiding you both into this self-union and union with each other when the time is right. So I really hope this reading has been helpful and that it's resonated with you. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. It really helps me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading. And also please check out my other pick a card readings. I have tons on here about how this person's feeling, what's going to happen within your connection, and all things like that. So go check those out. Thank you so much. So this is set of cards number 4, which is the Aura Quartz Point. And you have the Spiral Tarot. And we also have the messages from the Divine Masculine cards. And we will be looking into the charms as well. So what does this person want you to know right now? There's Judgment in reverse. The Four of Swords in reverse. The Ten of Cups. The Eight of Cups. The Moon. The Devil in reverse. The Tower in reverse. The Five of Wands in reverse. Temperance. Death. I feel insecure. Does she still love me? I want to share my feelings with you. This is the real me. And I'm sick of the old paradigms. Okay, so what does this person want you to know right now? They want you to know that they're very, very sensitive to any kind of judgment. They want you to know that they don't mean to react by either having conflicts and fights with you or withdrawing from you. It depends, whether this person is quite passive and avoids confrontation, or whether this is someone who isn't afraid of that kind of confrontation. But they want you to know that they're overly sensitive to judgment. They want you to know that they don't mean to take things personally. But they've experienced a lot of judgment throughout their life. They felt very disconnected from spirit and soul family. They felt very isolated and alone, I feel, for most of their life. They feel very misunderstood. They're struggling at times to see the higher perspective when it comes to the difficulties in your relationship. They want you to know that they have this tendency to overthink things, but they don't mean to. They don't want to be like that. It's like sometimes they're just unconscious. They don't realize that a lot of their triggering is the own stories that they create in their own mind about, you did this, you did that because you're rejecting me kind of thing. And so when that wounded inner child is coming up within this person, it's hard for them to hear spirit, hear what their intuition is telling them. It's hard for them to recognize that this triggering is happening for a good reason, because they get kind of caught up in their pain body. And so they want you to know that they don't mean to take things so personally. Four of Swords in reverse. They want you to know that they're very burnt out. They're very stressed. And that's also making it so they can't see clearly. Swords are about the mind and perception. And so they're having a lot of negative self-talk. They don't know how to see things in a good light. This can be a lot of pessimism. They want you to know that they're running on empty because they may have difficulties sleeping or resting. I feel like they're overthinking things. They're stressing about a lot of things. And that, when we overthink things, we lose touch of intuition. We, start weaving those stories that create a lot of anxiety. And a lot of the time those stories are fiction. They're not even real. But it's like this person's deep worries. They want you to know that they feel so uplifted by you and your connection. They want this 10 of Cups with you. They want the happy relationship, the family, the home. They feel deep fulfillment within your connection and a lot of celebration, excitement, healing. And they want you to know that they really do value you. And they think really highly of you. They think you're really beautiful and wise and caring and loving. And and they see you as wife material, I'm hearing. And it's in these times of clarity, in these times of love and alignment, that they really know that you're the one for them, and they really feel happiness, and they just don't understand why all this conflict or all these fears of abandonment and rejection come up. They want you to know that they're going through a stage of healing, even if their conscious self doesn't realize that they're going through a time of healing. So they're temporarily walking away or moving away or focusing on this moon here. And really interestingly, the moon came out next to it. And so this means that they're going inwards. They're doing the shadow work. A lot of stuff's coming up. It may be stress from external things, family, friendships, work, that are really taking up a lot of their time, energy, and mental space, because they have karma that's going on here, really, really triggering them. But it's so that these subconscious wounds, fears, blocks, illusions come up to the surface, to be healed and released. They're in this incubation, gestation, because there's the little baby in the womb. They're in a gestation period. They're not fully available right now because they are going through a lot of drama and stress for healing purposes. They're in the place of freeing themselves from this devil energy. Shows the mirror here. So this person may not have a high opinion of themselves. They're holding a lot of hurt inside of themselves. I feel like they're going through toxic karmic situations, whether it's with another partner, family, friends, whomever. They're really going through very painful times, but they're in the process of liberating themselves, because I feel this person didn't feel good enough as a person because of other people in their life dragging them down or not treating them right or having a negative opinion of them. May have been dealing with narcissistic, toxic people. And so they based their sense of self-worth on how they were being treated, and they weren't being treated well. So they had like a poor self-image, but they're in the process of releasing that. But because of that poor self-image, that's why they're very sensitive to any form of blame or judgment. Even if you're not doing that, it's like they think you are sometimes. So yeah, they want you to know they're going through a lot of difficulties here. The moon is intense fear. The devil is codependent or toxic connections where they feel bound to those people, but they're freeing themselves. They're facing those fears. The tower is crumbling. Things are falling apart in their life, and they have a lot of fears of that happening. And so in a way, they may be resistant of those things falling away, because even though they're not serving them and they're not happy in those situations, it's become what they've known. It's become almost a part of them, is what they believe. It's become a part of their identity, and so it's hard to break those things down and break free. So they want you to know that there's a lot of power struggles going on in their life right now, and they're sorry if that's, merging into your connection as well, or bleeding into your connection. They don't want power struggles with you. They don't want fights or misunderstandings or, distance and isolation between you both anymore. They want this temperance. They want this healing. They want this harmony and balance of give and take. There's 2 cups here. It's almost like the 2 of Cups card. They want the harmonious relationship. But right now, they're going through the death. This is the endings of certain things in their life. It's like the death of their ego, which is a very difficult thing to go through. It can be very confusing. The ego wants to try and hold on for dear life. because, you know, when we first incarnate, we believe who we are is like the ego. You know, the ego stores up all these stories about ourselves, and we may, you know, say we are our work, or we are what we've achieved or haven't achieved, we are what other people have told us we are. All those illusions. Who we truly are is our infinite soul that incarnates through all lifetimes. That's our true identity. And so they're in this process of the illusions, the false self breaking down. It's very scary. It makes them feel incredibly insecure because everything as they've known it is crumbling all around them. Does she still love me? And this person's very worried that you don't. They're very worried that there's a complete ending of your connection, because, you know, 8 of Cups, walking away, death, endings, the Tower, and the Devil, you know, releasing toxic bonds. So I feel like there was a Tower moment between you, but it was in order to release negative patterns within your connection. You may have been holding on to each other through codependency, through fear. Fear may have been clouding your judgments and causing you to make poor decisions within this connection. And so there needed to be a breakdown, and it may appear as though the whole relationship's broken down, but for many of you it was just the breakdown of the negative cycles. It caused you to take a step back, know your self-worth, know you deserve the best, focusing on loving yourself rather than looking outside of yourself for love and approval and validation. You know, this has been a major lesson for you to learn that self-love and validating yourself. I want to share my feelings with you. So this person really wants to reach out. They want to communicate their truth to you. They want to be their real self with you. They know that's very important. Perhaps they were holding back from being their true self. Perhaps they were hiding behind masks. They didn't want to look in the mirror. Basically, they were running away from their true self because they had a poor opinion of themselves. I'm sick of the old paradigms. So they're sick of the old negative beliefs that they've had about themselves. You've opened like a doorway. You've opened an opportunity for them to step into their power, for them to know their worth. It's a difficult awakening process, but they're really appreciating that, and they're wanting to embrace that now rather than resisting it. So let's look into the charms. Okay, so we have bullshit remover. So this person is wanting to do things right now. They're realizing that when they wore masks, or when they were deceptive, or when they just weren't coming forward and being open and aligning with their true self, they realize this bullshit is what created a Tower moment between you. And so they're trying to like wash themselves clean of that. They're trying to start a brand new leaf, turn over a new leaf. They're trying to be open, or they want to be open in sharing their true feelings with you and being their real self. So yeah, this is the gravestone, and it says I'm fine. So this person may have had some masks on even when this Tower moment happened, and made out that they didn't really care, or you haven't heard from them, but deep down they do care, because this flower's like wilted. And this is really amazing, because to me this bead represents the crown chakra, and there's the key with the crown on, and it kind of looks like a heart crown. So this is the opening of the crown chakra. This is showing that they're hearing the messages from the divine. They're connecting with their higher self. Their intuition is opening up. They're following their highest good. They're following their soul truth, which is leading them to be much more authentic. It's leading to much more healing. and that is allowing them to be more open with you and for them to align with you, if that's part of your soul contract, for that to happen. So I really hope this reading has resonated with you and that it's been helpful. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and that will notify you every time I release a new reading. And please check out my other readings on my channel. I have tons of pick a card readings about how this person feels, what's going to happen in your connection and all things like that. So go check those out. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.